I'm pushing at the end of the games and it's the last workout and I want to win. Like, how bad do you want it? I just imagine like Sam next to me and we're going head to head and whoever wins is just the fittest woman on earth. Always when I want to give up, I think about that and I'm like, you wouldn't give up in competition. Why would you give up in training? Nobody ever expected me to make it to the games, I think. I mean, my first year at regionals, I got disqualified the first day. So, people never expected anything from me. And I always wanted to prove what I could do. And I finally did that 2015. Found out a lot of weaknesses in 2014 and worked on them. I'm so hungry for it. So hungry. So we are going now to get an MRI on my shoulder to see if I can start training again or if I have to wait a little bit longer and hopefully not get surgery for a pinched nerve. So we'll see how that goes. Before the games last year, at the games last year, I don't know when it happened, but I had like a fractured rib. It wasn't like broken completely, just like a little fracture in it. And I could always feel like a pinch in my shoulder. And when I was training for regionals, I could always feel it like in the dip and everything. And I was like, oh, it's just tight muscle. Don't think about it. Just kept on training and pushed through it. Then I competed at the games. Didn't feel it that much at the games, but the first session that I did after the games, I did a burpee and like something was just not right. I never felt so much pain. I was like, oh, I'm just still tired after the games. Didn't think about it more. I had a little knee injury last year, so I was just trying to come from that. So I was doing a lot of upper body instead of lower body just to help the knee recover. Then I went to Australia and got, like, I don't know if I got food poisoning or just sick, and was throwing up a lot, and I couldn't understand why like my shoulder was hurting so much. So I broke the rib that's underneath the collarbone. So always when I was like throwing up, like you lift your trap or something, and I was like, why does this hurt so bad? On my 30-hour flight home, it was very, very bad. Like I couldn't even lift my bags or anything, and nobody would even help me. I don't know why I was asking people to help me, and they just like looked at me. They're like, oh, you're fit, you can do it yourself. I have a broken rib, help me, please. There's something wrong with me, I don't know what it is, I will find out, please. And yeah, it was a very, very long day, but I mean, I knew I was going home to see my family and everybody, and I needed that. And yeah, I went to the doctors. We thought it was a herniated disc just because of the nerve pain. Again, I went to get MRI. We saw that it wasn't a herniated disc, so we were trying to figure out what it was. So I went to another, it's called a computer scan, I think. And then we saw the rib, and it was just broken in half from overtraining and not recovering enough. So it had been happening for 6 months in total or something. And it's amazing what CrossFit does to you is that you have a specific pain threshold, and you just think that if you can't push through a pain, you're weak, instead of listening to your body. And that's what I learned. I learned it the hard way. And yeah, so I had a broken rib and a pinched nerve, and everything was just locked up here for about a week, and then I just wasn't able to use my upper body for 12 weeks. So, and yeah, we checked it out after 8 weeks if the pinched nerve was still there. I mean, I hadn't tested my upper body, and we wanted to be sure before I would start my training again that everything was going well. And if it would have been pinched still, I would have needed surgery, and then this season would be out. So it was a bit stressing, but everything turned out well. I'm good now, just not 77.5 kilos. So coming back strong. It's my second week now in full training. I'm very beat up, to be honest. I feel like after the games 2015, to be honest, my body's just so sore, and I'm so powerless. It's like squatting and everything is like so heavy. But I'm gonna give it at least 3 weeks before I start whining about it. So I'm starting with a run, then I'm gonna go home, eat breakfast, and then I'm coming back for some lifting. And yeah, then I have some muscle up or some gymnastics in this afternoon, and then watt bike late tonight. 1 mile, then 400 meters, 1200 meters, 400 meters, 1000 meters, 400, 800. 30 seconds rest between. Yeah, I know. This has been my life for the last 12 weeks. It's like when I'm lifting, I'm still scared. I like have a hard time committing. But it just takes time. Get used to it again. I'm patient. I have time. Or do I? No, it's gonna be good. It's just going through the open. Still in recovery. And like I've always wanted a heavy cluster in the open. I'm telling you it's coming this year just because I don't want it this year. But yeah, I'm just gonna think about the open, making it to regionals, and then making it to the games, and then I can be in beast mode again. And that's really hard, not wanting to win everything. And also smart, I'm turning into a runner. I wish. Now it is breakfast time. Okay, so I've been cleaning the storage, and the car is pretty messy. I have this broom in the back seat, so you just have to squeeze in. I was so relieved that it was a broken rib, because I on my way to Iceland, I have never been so just, the thoughts that were going through my head was just like, oh no, you're never going to do CrossFit again because you have a herniated disc and it's going to take a year for it to like heal, and then it's always going to come back when you're under a lot of pressure, and you're that type that you're always so stressed, so it's always going to come back, and you're always going to feel it. How like, because my goal is also to make it to the Olympics. I was like, how are you going to make it to the Olympics when you can't even move your neck? And like, I was just, yeah, I was like, oh, my career is over. What am I gonna do now? Like, that all happened in like one day, all those thoughts. And when the doctor said that he thought it was a herniated disc too, I was just like, there's no hope anymore. Like, just need to deal with it when I get the results and make the best out of it. There's nothing else I can do. And then I got the results that it was a broken rib, and like, I think it was the best news that could have come, because it takes 12 weeks to heal. And that's the perfect timing for the Open, and help me like make it to this season. I mean, it's gonna be hard not be like having the background from the off season this year, but I'm just gonna work my ass off and make it. That's how it's gonna be. There's a reason why it happened. I always believe that everything happens for a reason, so I think this is just something that I needed. I needed to get injured to work on my biggest weakness, which is endurance, and it's going to help me later on. Maybe not this year, but definitely next year. You have to have a lot of self-control, because it's so easy to like go into the mode, oh, the weather's so bad, I'm just going to stay home tonight and relax. And like, it takes so much energy from you when the weather is bad, because it's such a struggle. I mean, when the weather is super bad, you can barely drive the roads because of the snow, and you don't see the roads or anything. So like, you have to cancel a lot of things. Just like, you can never make plans in wintertime in Iceland because of the weather. And I think that toughens you up, because you just have to learn how to let go, and also how to, if you want things to happen, how to make them work. So like, you can't let anything stop you. That's how it is. This is called Sara pancake. It is delicious. Just finished breakfast now, and then I'm going to do my second session, which is lifting. And then I'll come back here, eat a little bit, take a nap, wake up, eat lunch, and then go train again. And then a little break again, just like at the gym, 15-minute break or something, and then go bike. Yeah. So like, this is my job, working from 8 to 6, 7. It's 1 banana, 30 grams of oats, cinnamon, and 130 grams of egg whites, and 1 regular egg. And it's gluten-free oats, just to be specific. And old-fashioned oats. They have to be old-fashioned. They're so much better. It's the details. So that's one thing that I've changed for this season, is being more smart. I used to never sleep. I've always had a hard time sleeping, so sleeping is like my priority now, and yeah, I have to try to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night, and then try to nap for 15 to 20 minutes every day. Nap or not nap, just like laying down, something over my head, and just, yeah, not thinking about CrossFit for 15 minutes, which is very hard, because usually I'm just thinking about my next session. Last week was my first week of real training again, and so I had prepared for the worst compared to last week, and it went way better than I expected. Running 6K in the morning, and then everything that I did last week but with more reps today, and I got heavy, like everything was heavier also today. I just felt much better. So it was a great day of training, and still have a gymnastics session left, so that will be hopefully good too. But it takes time. It's just how it is. Need to be patient. You never know what's gonna happen. You should never take that for granted, that you're gonna make it to the games. You never know what Dave's gonna bring at regionals, and like, of course I'm gonna try to be as ready as I can, but you never know what could come up. And being in the European regionals is probably one of the hardest regions, and also starting my season in February compared to January or December, it's gonna be pretty difficult too.
Do you think that's affecting you, or do you think mentally you just think that it's affecting you?
I think mostly it's mentally, and as soon as I get my confidence back, it's gonna be less. But I always want to be like, I always want to assume that I'm not gonna make it, so I will work harder to try to make it. Because you never know what events Dave's gonna bring and how the other girls are in it. And there's nothing I can do about it than to try to be better than I am right now. Hopefully that will be enough, but you never know what's gonna happen. Okay, this is a true talent. Can you peel an apple without it falling? Come on, Sara. Oh. Oh. No! Always the last part. It's just the day today. It's always the last part that's terrible and everything. Hard days, I eat around 3,000 calories. And easy days, regular days, 2,600. So like today would be around 2,600 to 2,800 if I'm starving in the evening. I'm not gonna starve myself. It's just to have like a routine of the nutrition. Guys aren't as strict in nutrition as the girls. That's what I have noticed.
Do you think that hurts them? Is there something different biologically?
I think it's mostly in girls' heads. Like, okay, nutrition can help you a lot, but if you make it affect you too much, like it affects me so much. If I eat bad, then I'm like, oh, I'm so heavy today. I'm like, I can feel my joints are stiffer than usual. Like, so much in the head just because I've read so much about how bad food can affect you. While the guys are like, if I'm bad, I'm bad. Like, they don't care. While the girls overthink everything. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could be like that, like, not thinking too much about everything. But then you also think, like, okay, in the future, I want to think, okay, I did everything that I could to be the best that I could. Like, I did the nutrition instead of thinking like, oh, I never got where I could have been because I didn't want to focus on this or this. Like, I want to be, okay, my nutrition is 100%, my sleep is 100%, my recovery is 100%, my training is 100%. Like, you have to take all of those different things and try to be the better than you are now in them at the right time. But I think also, like, I ate pizza for 3 weeks, and that helps me now because I'm like, oh, I love eating healthy again, and the feeling of eating healthy, instead of being like, oh, I've been doing this for freaking 2 years, I can't do this anymore.
So you gotta balance.
Yeah, you gotta balance it out. And like, you just need to find the right time to balance it out.
Is there a guy that you've noticed that's like the worst than all the others?
Like in nutrition, yeah. Or, yeah, Fraser, he doesn't care. Thank God he has Sammy though now. Like, well, okay, Rich is also Chick-fil-A fan number 1. It was crazy. Like, they don't eat at all. Like, during training, they train for 6 to 7 hours or something a day. And they eat maybe 1 bar or something. And then one day, he brought lunch with him. I was like, what? He's bringing lunch? And it's Chick-fil-A. So he eats Chick-fil-A. 20 minutes later, he does like a 40-minute workout. Like, heart rate high and everything. I was like, I could never do a workout after eating a burger. Like, I would be like lying on my back and like, I just need Netflix and chill. But it didn't affect him at all. I mean, he's just so used to that. I think his first regionals also, he just got McDonald's or something. It's crazy. I wish I could be like, that's how I was in 2015. After, or like most evenings after training, I went to In-N-Out Burger and ate In-N-Out Burger every day. Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite. And after competing at the games, like on Friday, I went to Biology Pizza. And then on Saturday, I think I went to In-N-Out Burger again. Like, yeah. It's the old Sara. It's a good Sara. That's where I trained so I could eat. And now I'm like eating so I can train good. So that's the change of it. That was hard, harder than I thought. My legs were a bit heavy, but it was good sweat.
What was the run?
5K every 6 minutes. No, 1K every 6 minutes, 5 times, total of 5K. I wish I could run 5K in 5 minutes. So our focus is to stay consistent instead of like going hard and need to rest. So I was trying to hold around 5:30 pace. I was trying to hold 5:20. It got a bit hard. I could do that last week. I felt so good last week. But today I'm a little bit more tired. My legs. I don't know, sometimes you just go into the zone and you don't even think about anything. That's a little bit what happened. Just music on and yeah. I think it's because of my lifting later. I'm focused for that.
You excited about that?
I am, if it goes well. No, I'm excited. It's just, I just need to not put any pressure on, like not have a specific number in mind that I want to hit. Just go with a feel. It's kind of my problem now. I'm always thinking about my old numbers and comparing it to that instead of thinking about what's the most that I've lifted after I started again. Because I've had a hard time with like coming back from or starting again after an injury. Because I always have the what I used to be able to do, and then I get like half of that, like if I'm doing ring muscle ups or something like that. So I just wrote down like my dream goals, my like realistic goals, and then here's each week. So like my dream goal in the Open is top 5 in Europe and top 10 in the world. That's my dream goal. The realistic goal is just make it to regionals, top 40. And then I write, here is every week until the Open is over, and then I would write the regionals goals here. So now it's every week until the Open and during the Open, and what my goal is each week. Much better than expected. Last week I couldn't snatch more than 70 kilos. Today I snatched 77.5. And I snatched 75 2 times, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the cleans, I haven't gone over 85 kilos in 7 months. So today I went 92.5. So it was way better than expected. And there's enough left in the tank for me. It's just committing to the weights again.
What was the goal?
Today, more than 70 and more than 85 kilos. So I did that. Pretty happy with that. Now it's food time. So hungry. How cool is my dress sweater? I was always like the tall girl and the strong girl. Like I was different from other girls, and I was always really jealous. I wish I could be like them. I remember when I was in, what do you call it, like the gym in school, PE. Like I got always really red on my cheeks, and all the guys were always making fun of me, so I just stopped going because I didn't want to be red in my face. Girls weren't supposed to be red at their face and weren't supposed to like work hard at gym. It was just the guys' time. That's how I felt. I mean, it wasn't like that. It was just like in my head. Like girls should always be pretty and skinny and shouldn't be that strong. So I think I was just embarrassed of who I was and trying to be something else. And that just took my self-esteem away. I always wanted to be an athlete, but I never believed that I could because I was a bigger girl. And yeah, finding something that I was finally good at, or finding something that means something to me has I think helped me so much to be where I am now. It's like when I started training, I could do 2 push-ups and I was happy with that because it was on my toes. Now I'm like, I can't even do 80-meter unbroken handstand walk. It's like, yeah, you just find different levels on where you want to go. And I don't think that, like, I don't think that I ever believed that I could be where I am right now. Like, if somebody would ask me, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna be a chef or something like that. So I think it's helped me a lot to realize that if you work hard, you can actually be good in something. I always gave up on everything when I was younger. So I always proved myself right by giving up, by how bad I was in everything. Instead of now, I'm like, I never give up. Either I don't get what I want, and I'm still trying to get it, or yeah, the hard work pays off. I started training in a global gym in 2013, so there was no pull-up bar or muscle-up like rings or anything like that. So I had to, like, my dad helped me build this to practice that. But we didn't have a pull-up bar, so my dad just hung them up the other day, but we had rings over there. It was a rule always when I walked inside and came back here to my room. I would always have to do 5 attempts to try to do a muscle-up. And I never got it.
Where'd you get your first muscle up?
When?
Where?
Oh, I got it here, but it was like, yeah, it took 7 months to practice, but it was like after 1.5 hours. I was watching, I think it was a video of Josh Bridges doing muscle-ups, and I just saw how well he like got through the ring. So I was like, oh yeah, he's just like if he's throwing a ball, he's like, how do you say it? Like knocking the head to the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you're in soccer, yeah. Like when you're in soccer and the balls come here, you like use your head to catch the ball. Do you have like a word for it in English? Headed? Yeah. So I was like, oh, you can think about like heading a ball or something like that. And that's when I got it. I was like, yes, finally. But it was not beautiful. Definitely not beautiful. And then We moved to, the gym that I was working at. So I was working at the desk at a global gym, and they just bought like a new, what was it, like a dungeon room, which was like super low. So we hung up rings there, and I think I have an old video of me doing muscle-ups there. Like I couldn't even extend the arms because it was so low. So like my knees were like this from the ground. That's in my memory. I don't remember quite well, but I was like so happy with doing like 2 muscle-ups there. So bad. Couldn't do chest to bars because if you did chest to bars you would hit your head. Like, oh, it's good times. Good times. Now I'm having 2 nice. My body still remembers everything else. Like, I don't do any CrossFit at all right now. Like, I'm starting now. Last week I started doing CrossFit again, but like, since the games I haven't done any like watts or anything. It's always just been like movement work, endurance stuff. I've been doing so much running technique and running. Like, if I don't become a runner, like, gosh, then I'll take a break from CrossFit and just do a triathlon for a year. Get good at it. There's so many new things that I've never done before.
Do you think these are giving you the tools to take you to that next step?
Yeah, but I think it's, I won't see it yet, but I will see it when I'm trying to peak at the games. Then all of what I'm doing now is going to benefit me. Then it's maybe not benefiting me now, because I don't need to be in top shape now, although I want to be in top shape every day. But I think this is just one of the things that was missing from last year, and that's why I got beat up on Sunday.
What's your top 5 favorite TV shows?
Top 5. I have to say Friends, of course. Friends is just like, I put it on just when I'm home and I'm cleaning or something, and I can listen to it and I know exactly what's going on. Family Guy, I love Family Guy. But the first 3 seasons are just like the best seasons. Arrested Development, yeah, it's just so good. Wow, it's so hard to choose. I love Desperate Housewives too, though. Sorry, I don't know. I know. Yeah, I love it. Okay, Grey's Anatomy. Like, I watched 3 episodes and I'm like, what is this? It's so dramatic. It's like, oh, she's drowning. No, she lives. It's like, oh, come on.
All the hot doctors.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And one more. Oh, it's so hard to choose. I have to say Game of Thrones in second place, though. It is just the best. Like, it's so good. I think I'm done. Worst thing about, because they always end up in the washing machine. Because I put them in my pocket or something, and yeah, I've gone through a few phones. The worst thing that happened to me is when I was traveling with Fraser in Texas, when we went to the Michael Johnson Center. The first day there, I went to pee and my phone was in my pocket here, and I was flushing the toilet, like flushing it afterwards, and my phone dropped into the water, and I was like, oh shit, and I picked it up. I was like, ew, 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 gross, gross, gross. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the SIM card out before it gets destroyed. So I took the SIM card out because I was like, oh, I can buy a new phone, like, if it doesn't work. And took the SIM card out, and it popped too much, so it went down the sink. I was like, my life is ruined right now. So it was so bad. That's like a typical Sara, like. Yeah.
On the right. That's after the final map.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, what just happened?
So, even though at that point, like, you know, you're not gonna win. But you still...
I didn't know anything.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't check the leaderboard the whole day. So I had no idea if I was in 7th, if I was in 3rd, if I was in 2nd. I had no idea.
Did that help?
Yeah, because what you start doing when you know where the scoring is at the leaderboard is you start only thinking about the persons that are around you on the leaderboard and you forget everybody else. But that's what happened to me at the games 2015. Like, I was only looking at Katrin the whole time, and when I saw that she passed me, I was like, oh, it's over. Instead of being like, okay, I can't let anybody come between us, because I had some like leading points on her that I didn't even think about. I was only thinking about her. But I think it's always... Do you want me to put it down?
I'm just going to turn
Yeah.
it down. That got louder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I think I did it in Dubai for the first time, and it just suits me better not knowing anything. While Sam loves to check it, and it doesn't affect her at all, but it affects me. Like, if I see all of a sudden I'm in 4th place, then I start bringing myself down instead of thinking, like, maybe I'm still in 2nd. I'm going to give it everything I got to get back to 1st. Like the left side my left leg just lost all tension.
Is this fun for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would want to be better at it, but I mean like I couldn't even stand on my hands against the wall when I started CrossFit, and now I'm going over obstacles, so improving slowly. Yeah, but I mean, this is the hardest training for me. That's gymnastics. Like lifting weights and grinding is just, it's like everybody can do that, but this, like, if you fail, you're like, why am I failing? Like, it gets so frustrating. Sometimes I'm high maintenance. If I have a bad day, I'm high maintenance. Then I need all the food and love in the world. And everybody has to feel sorry for me. No, I don't know. Maybe I am high maintenance and I don't see it. You never know.
Are you punctual or are you late all the time?
I'm late all the time. I'm always late. So my mom calls me Sara, which means like Sarah the late one. So I've been trying to fix it for like, I don't know how long. And like all my friends always tag me in like these memes that are like, hey, I'm on my way, and then like there's a guy in a bathtub relaxing, and that's me. that is so me. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. And then like 2 hours later, hey, what's up? But everybody just tells me the wrong times now, so I show up on time. If it's a serious thing, I'm on time, of course, except for my best friend's wedding. So it was, I was training, I don't remember what I was training for, but it was for some competition, so I had like a really long training day. And then I got home, got ready for the wedding, and I was like, fuck, it's like, I hope she hasn't walked the floor yet. And I opened the door and she's about to walk the floor. I was like, closed it again. I was like, oh my gosh. And she opened it, she's like, go inside right now. And then I walked in, I was like, okay. And then I walk in, everybody's looking at me. I was like, no, it's just me, guys, it's just me. Yeah, hey. After that, like, I should have learned from that, but I still haven't learned from it. That's the worst part. When will I stop being late? Oh. One day. Everybody knows the answer to this. Pizza. Yeah, definitely.
What's on the pizza?
All the meats in the world. Cheese, mozzarella cheese, cream cheese. And I'm gonna say this, pineapple. People will be offended, but I love pineapple. Yeah. And it has to be cheese in the crust also. And garlic oil on top. Why are we talking about this?
What do you think if somebody was going to challenge you on the eating contest? What would be your biggest...
Whitney Gilland. I owe her a eating challenge. Like, we were talking about it at the games this year. We were next to each other in the locker rooms, and she challenged me and I bailed out. I was too afraid. I think she might actually beat me in it. She's a beast. Jeez. No, but I could eat longer than her. She would be quicker than me, but like I never get the feeling of being stuffed, you know. So I get
eating endurance.
Yeah, I got eating endurance. I think there's a ghost that follows me everywhere, and I've named him Marcus.
Marcus?
Yeah, I do not know why, but his name is Marcus.
What happens that makes you think you have a ghost?
Like, some weird things have happened, like some things that I should not be like lucky about, that like almost going into a car accident and like it stops like 5 centimeters from a cliff or something like that. Like, I've had so many occasions where I'm almost supposed to be dead, but I'm very lucky. So I think that somebody's following me. That's Marcus. I'm sure about it.
Note to self, don't drive with Sarah, apparently.
For real though, don't drive with me. We're heading to a studio, so I'm going to do a photo shoot for a new sponsor that I've just signed with. It's Icelandic Water. We're going to the photographer's studio. Trying to finish everything now before the season starts. I mean, of course, I'm going to do some photo shoots during the seasons, but it's better to be done with all the big ones. Like now I'm going to a studio and that's going to be like 2-3 hours there. And then I'm going to do like the typical CrossFit photo shoot, training while they're shooting us, or shooting me. So, like, the big one is over. And also, like, Nike, I usually do a photo shoot in January for them, and then again right before the games. So I'm trying to finish as much as I can now before the crazy training starts, because it stresses you so much out when you have to do a long day of a photo shoot, and then you have also like 6 to 7 hours of training. Yeah, I'm so happy that I don't have to do it myself because I suck at it. Like you've noticed, maybe. I'm always like, the first day I was good. I was like, oh, I'm fancy, and I was like, no, can't. Yeah, I was like, doesn't matter anymore. They see me in my worst when I'm biking. I want more than 3 kids. 3 kids is like a normal thing. I want to have it like 4 to 5 kids. I hope it's just gonna be like triplets and then twins, and then I'm done. No. Get it over with.
Do you feel like with CrossFit, like it'll feel incomplete unless you win?
Yes, to be honest, I mean, later on, I know I'm not gonna think like that, but just now, because I'm so competitive, and of course I want to be the best, and also like I want to prove that anybody can work hard and win the games. Like, it's not just the all athletic persons. I mean, like, she has won the games. She almost made it to the Olympics in running. Like, she's always been a freaking amazing athlete. Katrin has always been a great athlete. Like, she was in like running, I don't know what you call it, like when you're running and then like throwing something. Do you know
javelin.
what? Yeah. Like the combination, like that, all those things, and like.
Oh, like a decathlete.
Yeah, decathlete. Yeah, like she was in that. Also a gymnast. Like she's always been a great athlete. Annie also. And then I'm like, I was a fat kid, and now I want to be an athlete, and just working my way up there. And I want to prove to everybody, like, I mean, I enjoyed my childhood so much because I didn't give a damn about anything. Like, it's the best time in the world. I was just in school, went home, made a pizza, ate pizza for lunch, went back to school. Like, I didn't care about anything. And I want to prove, like, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. You don't have to have the background. You don't have to have been a gymnast for 13 years, although it's very common that gymnasts win the CrossFit Games, but do you want it? Like, I mean, that's how it feels in competition. The more you practice it, the less painful it is. Or is it? Oh, it's just, like, I just try to imagine that I'm on a competition floor and, like, it's the last workout, and, like, depends on what I do in that workout, if I'm going to the games or not, and I'm just like, how bad do you want it? It's only pain. It's not like you're killing yourself. Like, you feel better after it, the more you kill yourself during a workout. But, like, it's dangerous when you start feeling sorry for yourself in the middle of a workout. Like, that's the danger zone. Then it's no turning back. So I haven't had toilet paper here for a long time. So my friend gave me like baby Pampers wipes. So that's just what's been in the bathroom for the last like 2 weeks. So I remember toilet paper because you guys are coming. My lifting is finally back. My snatches are always really good. Cleans, just need to build up a little strength in my legs again. But that's gonna come. I mean, I have 3 weeks. So much time.
On the bike, are you going for wattage? What's the goal this time?
Yeah, so now I'm doing 4 rounds of 4 minutes at 160 watts and then 4 minutes at 200 watts. That's not that high actually. So it's the bike sessions that I have been doing like for the past 3-4 weeks have been pretty brutal. So this is just heaven compared to that. And when I was in Spain, I did a lifetime goal. I biked 100K, 104. My private parts have never hurt as bad in my entire life. And yeah, but it was worth it in the end. think it's been really, really challenging for the mindset. It's so easy to give up. Like, I don't know how many times when I'm doing all this stuff, like endurance stuff, that I'm just like, why am I even doing this anymore? Like, this isn't fun. And then you see how much you're benefiting from doing stuff that, like, I never ever thought that a freaking 30K bike each day would help me in a CrossFit workout. And then I do the first open workout, and I'm talking in my last round. Like, it doesn't, like, it's crazy how much you can benefit from that. So I think, like, everything happens for a reason. My reason was my body needed a little bit of break, and I needed to work on my endurance, which I've been doing. So I think that's the biggest benefit from it. It's always like, in the process of making it to regionals, making it to the games, it's so much up and down. It can be like doing so well for 2 days, and then you're just shit for 5 days. Like, it's so many different things that can affect you. 20K, check. I think I sweated a little bit. Called Singer Twister. It's like a tortilla with like KFC chicken in the middle, and then like cheese and like you can have barbecue Singer Twister, and they have like lettuce on it too. It's a little bit healthy. So I would do like my own Singer Twister and add like the little like chicken nuggets, popcorn chicken, and Doritos to it also, just to make it even better. That was the life. Like, I'm just surprised I wasn't fatter. Like, I would eat pizza in the noon, work at KFC in the evening, take KFC with me home, bring it to school the next day. Like, it was just, that was the life. Like, it's probably because I slept more at that time. I was growing. I swear, I'm thinking if I stopped working there at 17, and I was like, okay. Or I stopped working there when I was 16, and I was like, okay, no more KFC, not anymore. I overate it. But the worst thing is that my brother and my dad also loved it, so I would bring them home, like food at 10 in the evening, and then just eat it again if I was hungry again. But like, I biked to work, so I just earned a freaking Singer Twister, come on.